Hi, I'm Tanita and welcome to Tipsy Time. Hi guys and welcome back to another episode of TT. I'm your tipsy chef Tanita. Today we're going to be cooking some ostrich from the Karoo. I lived there for many years in the southwest districts of the Western Cape, and ostrich was a primary meat. You could go to almost any restaurant in Mossel Bay, Oudtshoorn, George, there was always ostrich on the menu. After I moved to Natal and Gauteng, I don't see it that often. So I decided that today we should make some ostrich because I would love you guys to try it. It is available in most of the supermarkets. So just something for you guys to do with it. We're going to be making some ostrich fillets in a mushroom red wine sauce and some butternut on the side. Let's begin. Okay, so we got 5 beautiful ostrich fillets straight from the Karoo. Nice free range ones. I've given it a nice wash and I let it drain out. You want them to be as dry as possible. Okay, so we'll start with some olive oil. Let's get these steaks nicely covered. Let's give it a good rub. Ostrich is a very lean meat. It's very healthy. So if anyone's on a diet or trying to stay away from fatty red meats, this is a great choice. I've crushed some coriander seed, not too fine, quite rough. So it's about a tablespoon of coriander seeds. We'll start with that. I've got some garlic powder, some dried thyme, and lastly some cracked black pepper. If you guys have noticed, there's one ingredient that I have not put on, and that is salt, which is normally a primary ingredient, but because ostrich can dry up really quickly and salt helps with that, I generally put it towards the end of cooking. Okay, so we'll continue. We'll do the exact same spread of spices on the other side as well. Okay, now that we're done, we're going to leave this to marinate for at least 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, say. Okay, so let's start with our sauce. This is a creamy red wine mushroom sauce that we can have with it. I'm putting in some olive oil and our butter as well. We're looking at a hot pan. We want it to be quite hot because what we're doing first is we're going to braise out our mushrooms. We want all the water to be extracted. We just want a concentrated mushroom flavor. So we'll add in our mushrooms. This is about 1 punnet of mushrooms sliced up. We'll add a teaspoon of garlic, some fresh thyme, smells good. Garlic, butter, thyme, brilliant. A bit of salt, black pepper, so we're gonna now let this cook out. Now that the water is half dried up, we'll add in about 1 onion chopped small. If you have a very big onion, then just a quarter of it or half of it. We'll give that a good mix. We don't want these onions to burn. We want them to just get translucent, just release their flavor and their sweetness. Now everything looks done. Our mushrooms are perfectly cooked, no liquid left whatsoever. The onions are nice and translucent. We need to transfer this now to a bowl. We'll use it later when we continue making our sauce. The ostrich steaks have been marinating, and now I've just added some salt, and now they're ready for the pan. We need a extremely hot pan. We'll get some olive oil on. Get these on. That's the sound we're looking for. Ostrich needs to be rare to medium. If you cook it further than that, you're basically going to have a very dry piece of meat. So we're looking at about, for this thickness, about 1.5 to 2 minutes aside. Also note that once you put your steak in the pan, don't touch it. Don't move it around or anything. You want it to get that nice crusty crust on it. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to give it a turn. Drop in some butter. So we'll give this another 2 minutes and then we're ready. Then we leave them to rest for about 5 to 6 minutes while we continue making our sauce. Okay, it's been 2 minutes, so we're going to just remove it from the pan. Okay, so let's get on with our red wine sauce. We're going to need about 175 ml of red wine, and that's going to go in the same pan that you fried your mushrooms in. So don't clean that pan, you want all that scrapings there. Mix. And to that we're going to add about 250 ml of beef stock or chicken stock, it's up to you. I'm going to put in some thyme. Bit of garlic, and we're going to reduce this down to, we're going to reduce it by half, so we get a nice syrupy consistency. So while our sauce is reducing, let's crack on with our butternut. I've steamed some butternut while I was frying the ostrich steaks. I'm just going to get a pan with some olive oil and a knob of butter. We'll add in our butternut. As I said, I've steamed these already. And we're going to add some brown sugar, about a teaspoon, some salt, some black pepper, a little bit of garlic, half a teaspoon, some cinnamon powder, and last but not least, some fresh thyme. We'll let that cook for 5-6 minutes, should be done. Okay, now that our wine and beef stock broth has been reduced by half, as you can see the level there, we'll get in our mushrooms which we made earlier. Give that a mix around, and also 1 minute, the juices from our resting ostrich. That's all the flavor, and we'll continue to reduce this down. Now that our sauce is nicely reduced, it's time to get in about 100 ml of fresh cream. And now we'll let it cook until it thickens up. Sauce looks like it's about done now. A quick test is just get some of it in the back of the spoon, wipe down, and if you see that gap, then you know it's done. We're going to finish this off with a knob of butter just to give it a nice shine and more richness and creaminess, and then we're ready to plate up.
Just gonna cut through. Oh yes, you can actually see how beautifully pink it still is inside. So soft and juicy. If you don't eat steak, and if you ever wondered what a good beef steak tasted like, if you cook this correctly, it's pretty close. But the flavor of this, it's got another dimension. The sauce just adds to that. It's got this really nice creamy taste, but then you've you've got that flavor, that nice flavor of the red wine and the mushrooms in there that complement the very sort of earthy taste that the ostrich has. It's very, very tasty. I'm just going to taste some of the butternut as well. That sort of perfectly comes together. The butternut's nice and sweet, and that sugar really like sort of caramelized it, together with this sort of richness that the sauce brings. This is really good stuff.